Hey everyone, it is Zen-81. I'm here to do a frequently asked questions video, which I've done before, but this is just an updated version with new questions. And these are questions that I get asked in real life when I'm out and about, so I'm just going to hop right into it. The first question I get asked is, how long have you had your locks? And this is something I've been addressing in previous videos because it confuses people, but I've had my locks for 3 years now. If my hair looks longer, it's because I did not want short spiky locks. I grew my hair out before I started my locks. So when I started my locks, my starter locks were probably like about here when they were shrunken, so they weren't much shorter than my hair is now. What did your hair look like before you locked your hair? To be honest, I didn't walk around with my natural hair completely out all the time. I didn't do a lot of, wash and goes or wash and hydrations where you try to define the coils or the curls in your hair and wear your hair completely down. What I did is I twisted my hair a lot, and when I was able to get my hair back into a puff or a ponytail, I did that. I did a lot of micro braids. I braided my hair on my own, and I did whatever I needed to do to kind of stretch between like detangling and all that stuff. Like, I never liked the feeling of waking up in the morning and not having my hair done and like having it tangled and not being able to feel like I can just go out in public. So my hair was tighter in the back, and you can see when you look at my locks in the back are still small because I didn't combine them. The locks in the back locked really fast compared to the rest of my hair, and the locks in the back of my hair aren't frizzy and fluffy like the rest of my hair. That's because this part of my hair was like kinky, or like small coils the size of like a watch spring, and then the top of my hair, especially around here, it was like bigger curls like the size of a highlighter. So I never really weared my hair down, but those were two different textures that I had to deal with. And if I did have hair this length and it wasn't locked, you'd probably be able to see it'd be like kinky in the back and curly just on top. And a lot of people have those two textures, people with curly or coily hair, and it's something that looks normal. It doesn't look freakish or anything at all, but that's what my hair would look like. Are you a hairstylist is a question I get asked a lot, mainly because I don't talk about it, especially on social media. And there's a reason for that, and I'll probably be doing an update soon, whether it's like written on my blog or if it's in a video format. And the answer is yes. I used to record like kind of like hair school updates the same way I do lock updates. Most of them are on my blog that I used to have. But to make a long story short, the past 3 years doing hair has not been an easy journey. Like, it gets hard. There are a lot of things I encountered that still make me upset that I don't even want to talk about at times, so that's why I don't get into it too much. But the answer is yes, I am a hairstylist. I went to a hairstyling school that was like 1,500 hours long. After that, I worked for a year in a salon, and I did like 6 months or so in a curly hair salon, and I'm at a curly hair salon now, and I've been at that curly hair salon for about a year and a half. So I am licensed as well, but the story behind that is also not a story I want to talk about, but I know I need to talk about it in order to help other people. So that will be coming in a new year. So just stay tuned for that if you're interested in doing hair at all. Why did you become a hairstylist, or why did you want to become a hairstylist? I never really had an interest in hair when I had straight hair or when I was wearing like weaves and whatnot in my teens. But when I cut my hair off and I decided to go natural, that's something that kind of started to pique my interest. I wanted to maintain my hair on my own. I did not want to depend on a hairstylist anymore. So I really dove into like doing a lot of research, watching a lot of videos, reading a lot of books, just to learn about natural hair and how to maintain it. And after that, I just developed like a passion for it or an obsession with it, and I knew that I wanted to be able to do other people's hair. And the funny thing is, people would sometimes ask me if I had like micro braids. They'd always be really long, and they'd sometimes ask me, who does your hair? Or if I had twists, who does your hair? And I'd always be like, well, I do it myself. And if people asked me if I would do it on them, I didn't feel comfortable because I didn't feel like I had the skill, and because like it takes forever for me to do my hair, or it took forever for me to do my hair, and I didn't want to put someone else through that. But nowadays it's easier to just say, yes, I do hair, or I can do your hair, and not feel weird about it, obviously. How did you start, or how did you get into hairdressing? This is a question I get asked at work, And it's basically the same reason I just told you about, wanting to maintain my own natural hair and wanting to help other people maintain their own natural hair is why I got into hairdressing. Would you ever comb out your locks? The answer is no. When I just started my locks, like maybe a year into my lock journey or up to a year and a half, people would ask me that all the time, and hairstylists would even tell me, you know, you could pick those out if you want. And the way people pick out their locks is they soak them in conditioner and they just one by one kind of pick them out with like a needle or a comb, and then they end up with a head full of loose hair. And I did not want to do that because at that point, a year and a half ago, I had started my locks for a reason. Just because my locks are curly at the ends and looks like they could be taken out, it doesn't mean I want to take them out. So I always thought that comments like that were uncalled for. And nowadays, since I've been locked 3 years and I don't use conditioner, I treat my hair differently than I would treat my hair if it was loose. I just use shampoo. There's a lot of ripping that goes on when I separate my locks. I know that my locks or my hair wouldn't be healthy if I took these out. I would feel more comfortable cutting my locks off than I would picking them out. So if I ever do get rid of them, which I don't plan to, it's going to be like a big chop type of thing. And the last question is, how long do you want to grow your hair? I don't really have a goal length, and it's funny because someone asked me the other day, someone I'm actually like close to, not someone at work. I told them I would never let my hair get past my mid-back. I would cut it and keep cutting it if it got that long. And then they're like, what's the point of having locks? If you're going to cut them, you're not going to let them grow. And that was a good question. I couldn't answer it. I had to think about it. And I'm like, well, I never started my locks to have long hair. I started them because I liked the way locks look. It's like an alternative edgy feel to them. It's very natural, and I've always been drawn to images of locks. My hair was always considered long, believe it or not, because I don't know if everyone's going to agree with me, but in the Black community, your hair does not have to be down your back to be considered long. Like when my hair was relaxed, because it was thick and it was past my shoulders, it was considered long. And then when I started bunning it and I was able to grow it to my armpits, of course it was considered long. Like, long hair is pretty, but it's not an obsession with me, and it has nothing to do with my locks. So that's basically it. I hope I answered some questions that maybe some of you have. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you later. Bye.